Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, here with another video. It's me, your host, Mr. Goldman, and the fabulous second period. Woo-hoo! Second period, yeah. Make sure to like and subscribe and whatever else you do for YouTube videos. Ring that bell for ring that bell for notifications. All right. Standard 8, I can convert a fraction to a decimal. We do this with the magic of long division. Remember, we divide top to bottom just like we read top to bottom. So 5.000 divided by 8. 8 goes into 5 0 times. Bring up the decimal point. 8 goes into 56 times. 6 times 8 is 48. Remainder of 2. Bring down the 0. 8 goes into 20 twice. 2 times 8 is 16. Remainder 4. Bring down the 0. 8 goes into 45 times. 5 times 8 is 40. Remainder of 0. So we have a terminating decimal of 0.625. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. 2 goes in the house. 11 goes outside the house. 11 goes into 2. All right. We have a live clap battle. Kago, please shut the door. 11 goes into 20 once. 1 times 11 is 11. Remainder of 9. Bring down the 0. We have 90. 11 goes into 98 times. 8 times 11 is 88. Remainder of 2. And now I have 20 again. So I started out with how many times 11 going to 20, and now I have it again. So I know this terminates. Or sorry, I know this repeats. Woohoo. But notice it goes back to 1. Right? So my decimal is 0.181818. A few of you wrote this as 0.18 repeating like that, and that is not correct. Because the line has to go over the 1 and the 8. So I was a stickler with that. 1 point, a bunch of zeros. 6 goes outside. 0.1. 6 times 1 is 6. Remainder of 4. Bring down the 0. 6 goes into 46 times. 6 times 6 is 36. Remainder of 4. Bring down the 0. And hopefully we see where this is going. It's the 6. Just the 6 is going to repeat. So now we need to write it like that. So you had to be careful with how you wrote that. The proper name for this is 375 thousandths. So we would just write that. 375 over 1,000. This can be simplified all the way down to 3/8. This is 70 hundredths, which is the same as 7 tenths. And this is 0.34. The 3 and the 4 repeat. So it's not 34 over 100, but 34 over 99. However many digits are repeating, that's how many 9s go in the denominator. There we go. Two-thirds times 3/5. Our common denominator is going to be 15. 2/3 and 3/5 times 2/3. My giant 1 is going to be 5 over 5, so we get 10/15. 3/5. My giant 1 is going to be 3 over 3. So that's equivalent to 9/15. So instead of 2/3 plus 3/5, we're going to think of this as 10/15 plus 9/15. And we get 19/15. You could have left it like that, or 1 and 4/15. All right. For 2/5 plus 3/4, my common denominator is going to be 20. I'm not going to show you the giant 1 method here. We can just think about this. My giant 1 would be 4 over 4, so 2 times 4 is 8. My giant 1 for 3/4 would be 5 over 5, and 3 times 5 is 15. 8 plus 15 is 23/20, or 1 and 3/20. C was 5/12 plus 8/7. My common denominator is going to be 84, which is 7 times 12. So my giant one for 5/12 would be 7/7. So I have 35 84ths plus, what is that, 64? No, 12. Woo! 96 84ths, right? Which is 131 84ths, which is your answer, or 1 47 84ths. There you go. Standard 11, I can add positive and negative numbers. The first one, you didn't have to do the tiles. We can think of this as 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 negatives. All of those cancel out, just like floats and anchors, and we're left with -1. Here I'm going to use the associative property and group the negatives together. So I have 15 plus 7 negatives plus 8 more negatives is -15. And 15 plus -15 is 0. Here I'm going to do a similar thing. I'm going to group the negatives and the positives. So I'm going to get -38 plus 63. A common mistake was putting 53 here, not 63. This is the same as 63 plus -38, which is the same as 63 minus 38, which is 25. Some common little silly mistakes in standard 12. I can multiply positive and negatives. First of all, the parentheses mean multiply. Some people tried to subtract these or add them. We're multiplying all of these. 4 times -11, this is 4 groups of -11, so it's going to be -44. A positive times a negative is always negative. Here I'm removing 3 groups of -12, so my answer is going to be positive, and 3 times 12 is 36. Remember, a negative times a negative is always positive. And here I'm going to use the associative property again. I'm going to group these two. -3 times -4, since it's a negative times a negative, it's going to be positive. 3 times 4 is 12. So now I have 12 groups of 5 negatives, which is -60. All right, a lot of people messed up the negatives somewhere in there, but to be expected. Lastly, standard 13, I can multiply mixed numbers. We are going to first convert these all to improper fractions. I do that by multiplying the denominator times the whole number. 2 times 2 is 4, plus the numerator plus 1 is 5. So we have 5 halves times 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7, 7/4. And now we multiply straight across. 5 times 7 is 35. 2 times 4 is 8. Or, what is that? 4 3/8. Here, my mixed number is 7 halves times 14 fifths. And we can do a cross simplify here. Remember, 14 over 2 is just equal to 7 over 1. So I can, because I'm multiplying, I can simplify across. So that becomes 7, and that becomes 1. And this gives me 49 fifths. And because I cross simplified, I don't need to simplify anymore here. And that equals 9 4/5. This last one was especially helpful if you knew how to cross simplify. We have 7 times 4 is 28, plus 3 is 31/7, times 5 times 5 is 25, plus 3, 28/5. Again, notice we can cross simplify here. 28 over 7 is 4 over 1. So 28 goes to 4, 7 goes to 1. 31 times 4 is 124. 1 times 5 is 5. So there you go. A lot of people had trouble putting this into a mixed number. It would be 24 4/5. So just be careful. All right, retake is on Friday. Good luck. That's it for me, your host, Mr. Goldman, and the fabulous second period. And zoom in on Alexis and Rhea. Okay, all right, thank you, everybody.